Hi, today I'd like to spend a couple of moments talking to you about the selection criteria that you will use when you are planning your redundancy processes. We've posted some videos so far about the process so far, and just to recap on that, we firstly talked about the importance of planning and preparing your business rationale behind your redundancy scenarios, so enabling you to take that really objective, evidence-based look at the reasons behind having to make redundancies. We then looked at how you identify the pool of people that will be placed at risk of redundancies and the factors to take into consideration with that. We then spoke about the consultation period, which is very, very important, and regardless of the size of the organisation, is simply good practice. So the larger the company, of course, the more complex your statutory obligations are. But even for the smallest businesses, embarking on a meaningful consultation period is really important in terms of getting the process right and enabling your employees to have a dignified and well-informed process that they will have experienced if they are at risk of redundancy. So we'll talk a little bit about the selection criteria now, which forms part of your period of consultation with your employees. And this is simply um, the information that you put together, that you grid together in order to create your selection matrix, your criteria matrix, that you will use to then score and make your objective decisions about who will actually be made redundant. And the sorts of things that you may want to put on that list. So that criteria could be skills and knowledge. So the level of skills and knowledge across this pool of people. You may then want to score performance, so job performance. You will need a history of performance management of your one-to-ones to enable you to do that and to be able to look objectively, and also be mindful of the fact that people will need to have been assessed and measured in a consistent and a fair manner as well, of course. You may also want to look at attendance and absence. Now, be very careful. We can't take into consideration, of course, things like maternity leave and parental leave. So be very careful when you're looking at that. But again, it's another factor that you're absolutely at will to take into consideration. And then you'll want to look at disciplinary history as well, and attach a scoring to that. Be careful of using length of service as part of your scoring matrix, just because it might open you up to potentially discriminating against younger workers who just simply haven't had the opportunity to work for as long. So use it with caution, I would suggest, and take advice before doing that. And then in terms of your scoring, you could attach a scoring, a grading system of 1 to 5. So 1 being lowest, of course, and 5 being exemplary. So the people scoring 5 using the criteria we've just mentioned would be the ones with the optimum, the very best skills and knowledge to do the jobs that are required within your organisation. They've performed well, and there's evidence of that behind them. Their attendance is exemplary, and there's no record of disciplinary history on their file as well. So that will enable you to attach a 1 to 5 scoring, and then at the end of that, the decisions that you make will mean that the people, of course, with the lowest scores, unfortunately, are likely to be the people that you select for redundancy. Doing this allows you to demonstrate that fair, that objective, and that evidence-based process, which actually makes it a lot easier and a lot less emotional and subjective to manage for you as the managers and the business owners as well. It also makes it less personal for the employees concerned. I hope that's helpful for you. I will post one more video just as a summary of the key points and the key principles to bear in mind if you are embarking on a redundancy process. It's tricky, it's unpleasant. So if you would like to bend my ear on it, to ask for some advice, then please do feel free to get in contact. Thanks very much for listening. Bye-bye.